The most expensive divorce settlement in history. In the gilded world of billionaires, there was one couple who seemed to have it all. Alexander Steele, a tech magnate who turned his small startup into a global empire, and Emma Steele, a former supermodel turned philanthropist. Their love story had captivated the media when they married in an extravagant ceremony in Monaco. But behind the glamour and smiles lay cracks that no one could see, cracks that would one day lead to the most expensive divorce settlement ever recorded. Welcome to the Verdict Diaries. Discover gripping, real-life divorce cases, shocking legal battles, and relationship dynamics that shaped history. Subscribe for captivating stories and insights into love, betrayal, and justice. Alexander was a self-made billionaire who had risen from humble beginnings. His tech company had revolutionized communication and amassed him a fortune worth billions. His rise to success was meteoric, and he quickly became one of the richest men in the world. With his wealth came an extravagant lifestyle. Private islands, luxury yachts, and an estate that rivaled royalty. Emma, on the other hand, was no stranger to the limelight. Having walked the runways of Paris and Milan, she transitioned her career into philanthropy, using her influence and resources to support causes close to her heart. She was adored for her elegance and intelligence, becoming the perfect partner for Alexander's high-profile life. However, as years passed, the pressures of their extravagant lifestyle began to take a toll. Reports of arguments and differences in priorities surfaced. While Alexander remained focused on expanding his empire, Emma felt increasingly sidelined, longing for a deeper connection beyond the business world. Their once perfect union began to unravel. The breaking point came when rumors of infidelity emerged. Although neither confirmed nor denied the allegations, Emma filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The media frenzy that followed turned their private pain into a public spectacle, with tabloids speculating on the division of their enormous wealth. The stakes were astronomical. With Alexander's net worth valued at $45 billion, the settlement was poised to break all records. Legal teams assembled on both sides, preparing for what would become a battle, not just of finances, but of values and personal ambitions. As the divorce proceedings began, the public couldn't look away. Debates raged about the fairness of splitting such vast wealth, with opinions sharply divided. For many, Emma became a symbol of empowerment, while Alexander's supporters argued he should protect the fortune he built. Alexander's legal team, composed of some of the sharpest minds in corporate and family law, argued that much of his wealth was tied up in company assets and should not be considered marital property. Emma's lawyers, however, painted a different picture, emphasizing her sacrifices in supporting Alexander's career and raising their children while putting her own ambitions aside. The trial took a shocking turn when it was revealed that Alexander had hidden offshore accounts and luxury properties that were never disclosed during their marriage. This revelation not only put him in legal jeopardy, but also shifted public opinion against him. Emma took the stand, recounting the sacrifices she made during their marriage. She spoke of years spent raising their children, attending countless charity events as the face of their family's brand, and standing by Alexander through the ups and downs of his business ventures. Her emotional testimony resonated with many, painting her as a strong but wronged woman. When it was Alexander's turn to speak, he emphasized the hard work and risks he took to build his empire. He portrayed himself as a man who had started with nothing and argued that Emma's settlement demands were excessive and unfair. Outside the courtroom, the media frenzy only intensified. News outlets ran 24/7 coverage, dissecting every moment of the trial. Talk shows debated the case, with experts weighing in on the implications for high-profile divorces. The couple's private lives were splashed across headlines, and the public couldn't get enough. The couple's 3 teenage children were caught in the middle of the dispute. While they stayed out of the public eye, reports suggested that the family dynamics were strained, with conflicting loyalties between their parents. By the midpoint of the trial, Analysts estimated that the divorce could cost Alexander over $20 billion, making it the most expensive settlement in history. Financial experts debated how the ruling might set a precedent for future cases, especially in dividing vast wealth acquired during a marriage. As the trial wore on, both legal teams began to explore the possibility of a settlement to avoid a drawn-out courtroom battle. Emma's lawyers demanded a record-breaking $25 billion, citing her critical role in supporting Alexander's success. Meanwhile, Alexander's team pushed back, offering $10 billion and claiming it was more than generous. While negotiations continued behind closed doors, public sentiment heavily favored Emma. Social media was flooded with hashtags like #JusticeForEmma and #BillionaireDivorce as people empathized with her story. Meanwhile, Alexander faced backlash, with some accusing him of attempting to manipulate the system to protect his wealth. In court, financial experts were brought in to analyze Alexander's assets, which included stakes in multinational corporations, luxury yachts, private jets, and real estate across the globe. Their testimonies painted a clearer picture of the staggering fortune at stake, with estimates climbing higher than anyone anticipated. Emma gave a final, heartfelt testimony that left the courtroom silent. She spoke of her loyalty, the sacrifices she made, and her desire to secure a stable future for herself and their children. Her words were emotional but measured, and even those skeptical of her motives seemed moved by her sincerity. When Alexander returned to the stand, he faced sharp cross-examination from Emma's legal team. They pressed him about the hidden offshore accounts and questioned his attempts to shield assets. While he maintained his composure, his answers did little to repair his public image. As proceedings neared their end, the judge issued a stern warning to both parties. He reminded them of the importance of reaching a fair resolution for the sake of their family and hinted that if no settlement was reached, the court's ruling might surprise both sides. With the trial's conclusion drawing near, Alexander and Emma faced mounting pressure to finalize a settlement. Reportedly, Alexander was willing to go as high as $18 billion, but Emma's team held firm at $20 billion. The question remained, would they find common ground before the judge delivered his verdict? After weeks of heated arguments and failed negotiations, the day of the verdict finally arrived. The courtroom was packed with reporters, lawyers, and curious onlookers. Emma sat beside her legal team, poised yet visibly anxious, while Alexander remained stoic, his expression unreadable. The judge entered the courtroom and delivered the decision that would shake the world. In a historic ruling, the judge awarded Emma $21 billion, including assets, cash, and shares in Alexander's company. It was the largest divorce settlement in history, setting a precedent for high-profile cases worldwide. While Alexander avoided trial penalties by cooperating during proceedings, the ruling left him with a visibly diminished empire. As the news broke, it sparked a media frenzy. Some hailed the verdict as a victory for justice, highlighting Emma's role in building Alexander's fortune. Others criticized the ruling, arguing it was excessive. Social media was ablaze with opinions, memes, and debates about wealth, power, and gender dynamics in high-profile divorces. With her newfound wealth, Emma became a symbol of resilience and empowerment. She launched a foundation to support women navigating difficult divorces, advocating for legal reforms, and financial independence. Her public image shifted from a wealthy wife to a powerful, philanthropic figure. Alexander, on the other hand, faced challenges in rebuilding his reputation and company. He issued a public statement accepting the court's decision and vowed to focus on his business empire. Despite his setbacks, he retained enough of his fortune to remain one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, albeit with a tarnished public image. The case had far-reaching implications, reshaping divorce laws in many countries. Lawyers cited it as a landmark decision in determining fair settlements for spouses in high-net-worth marriages. It also sparked conversations about the balance of power in relationships and the recognition of non-financial contributions to marital success. Years later, the case remained a point of reference in legal and cultural discussions. While Alexander and Emma moved on with their lives, their divorce became a cautionary tale of love, betrayal, and the complexities of wealth. The record-breaking settlement served as both a lesson and an inspiration for couples worldwide. Conclusion. The divorce of Alexander and Emma was more than just a personal split. It became a global phenomenon that changed perceptions of wealth, justice, and resilience. Their story remains a testament to the human cost of ambition and the power of determination.